And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Hope your day is going well. Odie is in with us as we begin the Scotty Ray Report.
Yeah, it's Thursday. Friday's coming. Be here before you know it.
It is.
And weekend will soon follow.
Odie just attempted to show me something on his phone, and I explained without this, it's like it's a foreign language to me.
Yeah. Hey, you want to borrow mine?
Yeah, between the two of us.
I don't know what to show you.
It just sort of happens, folks.
And then if you can see M's bifocals, last time I went to the doctor, he says, "Do you want some for?" I said, "Look, no, I ain't that blind." I said, "I just need a little help up here. I refuse to get trifocals."
Look, I can read everything off. It's perfect. I said, we have another monitor in the back there. I can read perfectly. It's like anything here is.
Well, it doesn't hurt that it's a 96-inch TV.
Whoops. I like things big.
That's right. You know,
bigger the better.
We got to see. So I do need a little bit of help reading, but everything else, I can see fine, and I can read stuff that's on here.
What was that old song? I can see clearly now.
Now the rain is gone.
Does it?
And it's slowed down for right now.
It sure has.
But the road was slick this morning.
It was. We had an incident last night. This would be out in the Cicalina area, and Odie's been up all night. It's amazing that he even came in this morning.
Yeah, I got to the house. I said, if I lay down,
it's over.
I won't be back. So, yeah, we had a little wreck. Somebody found some slippery roads out through there. And
let's show that beautiful bean footage.
Yeah.
What is that I see? Is that goats?
Bad day for him, too.
Folks, it was goats everywhere.
Luckily, they never made it out in the middle of the road, but this dude right here, you can see the fence back here in the background.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. He took a good bit of that fence
with him.
All that fence should be standing up.
Yeah, that's a fairly new truck.
Yeah, Ford Ranger.
Yeah, they're kind of nice, but it is no more.
Yeah, no, it has seen its better day.
Yeah, it reported minor injuries with the wreck. It could have been a whole lot worse. It could have been a loss of life there. We're thankful that didn't happen. But, boy, everybody had to get up and come to that.
Yeah, and then Sheriff's Department out doing their deal, riding around. And what is this over here that doesn't look right? Hey, buddy, does this place belong to you? What's your name? Who are you? And... oh, weren't you the one that owns this truck down here?
I just went for a walk.
I just wanted to see if there's somewhere else I could go.
Everybody, that happens a lot more than you think when an accident happens. Do you remember the guy or guy in the dog down in right at the Clark County line that wrecked his car and got out and left with the dog? He told somebody, I ain't waiting around on them cops to show up.
I got some things to do.
So bye, y'all keep the car. It'll be all right. But it does happen, and then you have people this happens a lot in the city that drive off from an accident. You're involved. Matter of fact, we got a celebrity this morning that we need to talk about.
Uh-oh.
Do you remember watching 48 Hours?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. He hits somebody's car and drives off, and they video it. And so, is it Busey? Is that his name?
Yep, Gary Busey.
So they pull up, or is it Nick Nolte? Which one is it?
I think it's Gary Busey. He's the one that rode the motorcycle with no helmet.
He done a bunch of that. I've got to find the story, but he gives them the California howdy after they pull up and go, "Hey, pull over! You hit my car."
I just got one of those California hotties a minute ago.
I heard about that and I couldn't see it. It's Gary Busey.
Wow, Gary Busey, yeah.
As a matter of fact, he doesn't look anything like he once did. But it wasn't major damage, but what he did. But don't change the fact he drove off. And
I mean, after you hit somebody.
He ain't scared to be recorded. I'll give him that.
He's used to cameras.
Here's a picture from Daily Mail of him telling them I ain't pull over with some explicit words, I think, that were exchanged there.
You can make his mouth move for what words you think he said, and half of them will be right.
You know, I probably in an instant like that would even recognize that as a star or a former star.
No, not at all.
I'd have to go back and study it. It's kind of like that woman on the airplane that they busted for throwing such a fit, and it took like 8-9 months for somebody to go, wait a minute, that's an influencer woman, and her career has taken a since then.
And so it should.
It should. Don't be ugly.
I was reading. I didn't read the whole story. There's a guy, and I've watched a few of his little YouTube things. He's a diver, and it talked about how he went from not doing anything to now going out and finding cars underwater where.
Oh, is that the one that
in.
solves the murders?
Yeah,
that is a interesting show, and they have
really is
tons.
a bunch of them. And now that show is kind of.
Oh, is it going? What did he do?
Well, his sister came out and said his cousin. I mean, it's bad enough, but his cousin came out and said that some things had happened when they were teenagers.
Oh, between them possibly.
Yeah, and there was some other things that had come up, and so his show is kind of took a turn for the worse. It doesn't take but that long.
This is the South. It's okay to date your cousin.
Well, it is now. Does that fit in one of them polysexual poo nanny things?
That we talked about this morning.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, and y'all, I am not kidding. Go back and check your history. In the South, it was traditional to marry your first cousin because you did not want to mix the bloodline with somebody else's stuff there. Yep. And then they discovered that by doing that, the blood was really all mixed up, and we had some strange-looking folks after a while.
Down by the banjo.
That's true. That's not a made-up story. All that did happen here in the South. Days gone by.
It really is.
Those things like that can destroy a career, and apparently it's got his.
It did, and a lot of his team has moved on and done some other things, trying to save face for that company, because what they did was extraordinary.
They helped a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Another thing that Angie watches as we talk about people that what we do is a little different than what they do, but we're broadcasting the same way, is the Southern Mama guy. She showed it to me 2 or 3 times, and I was like, dude, what? How could people? It's a success of a guy that talks like his mama. Do this, do that, and he went from having nothing in this world to where he's making great money now.
Would y'all please like and subscribe? We would
like to.
We want to move on up. And,
we would like an extra can of beans next week.
You know, look, we've got a lot of things in the works. We're still talking about ghost stories and doing some haunted things overnight.
No, we're not talking about Odie's marriage.
No,
it's a haunting.
It's a good haunting. No, I am blessed with my wife. She is awesome. See, that's it.
Kissing up is what that's called.
Yeah, but we're going to do some live stuff.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of things in the works there.
Questions. We're going to answer your questions.
That's right.
So y'all just stick with us.
As we look at this, usually there's a motive behind something involving money when somebody breaks into a home and kidnaps somebody, especially like if you work overseas. You can be kidnapped. Remember the movie Proof of Life?
Yeah.
And then they call the company that you work for and go, hey, if you want him back, you got to pay. As we go to San Antonio, a mother and a father are in their home. Somebody breaks in, kidnaps them, leaves the 5 kids. Yes, I know you're thinking there's more to this story than we know. And we don't know any more than that at this point. But they have been taken. Somebody owes somebody something.
Yeah.
Not normally the people like that, they don't make mistakes of taking the wrong people. Normally.
Yes. Yeah, there's something in there. We just ain't heard the whole truth.
Yeah. Coming up, we're going to tell you about somebody that's getting a divorce. It's going to scare you. We didn't see it coming, did we?
No, not at all. Not at all.
We'll be right back. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter.
Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
Bring on long days, sweltering heat, and acres that just won't end. Exmark mowers were born to deliver legendary reliability, signature cut quality, and stubborn durability that refuses to give in. Because like you, Exmark mowers were built for this. Visit your local dealer or explore an Exmark online for special finance offers available now.
Need an expert to repair a rock peck or cracked windshield? Call Advanced Auto Glass by Joey for quality workmanship and customer service. Convenient same-day service, as well as in-house calibration for vehicle safety systems. Reliable mobile service is available in Clark, Kemper, Neshoba, Lauderdale, and Newton counties for all cars, trucks, and heavy equipment. Book your appointment today for custom tinting. It can reduce temps, fading, glare, and more. Improve the safety and enhance the appearance of your vehicle today with services from Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
Hey, is that your wife with a fake account saying Amy's wonderful?
You know, I started to think that, but then that was Shane. He I got to bring this up. So
What's
me
that?
and him went to Delwood the other night, and asked the board if we could use the lake as a training facility. And of course, if we ever go out there and we do some training, everybody will know well in advance that we're out there doing training, that nothing's wrong. But being able to go out there and do some training in dark water and getting used to that lake and everything else is awesome. And Woody Woodworks got that set up for us. And I mean, he's one of my top guys with dark water. That's what he lives in. That's what he works in, and he's comfortable with it. And
It'll save lives later on, being able to know surroundings and get some practice
Exactly.
underwater in case we ever need it.
Yep.
As we saw not long ago in the West Lauderdale area, someone had gone in the water, and you need a quick response upon that. We mentioned a divorce, our DIVOCRE of the morning.
Yeah, one of them.
I mean, I wouldn't suspect. I mean, say you're 83 and your girlfriend's 29, you get married.
I mean, she's going to stick with you for the rest of your life.
Absolutely, especially after she has a child that she could get child support out of you.
Yeah, because you've got plenty of moolah.
Al Pacino, just after, what is it, 3 months? Oh, no, 3 months. She's leaving him.
Yeah.
Imagine.
I got what I wanted.
Let's take a look at this and see if these two went together as we go to Daily Mail.
Yeah, so you're out with your granddaughter again, huh? That's my wife.
If you ever notice someone who's 80 with a 20-year-old, it has something to do with money. We're just going to go ahead and break it to you gently.
If it's not, I don't believe you. That's like when you dive, there's two people who, there's two types of divers.
Okay, what are there?
Those who pee in their wetsuit and those who lie about it.
There you are.
The only way this 23-year-old woman is with a 80-something-year-old man
Oh, boy.
is money.
I got the sneaky suspicion you're right on this. So Al Pacino getting a divorce. Now, we had a report in the Meridian area yesterday of a robbery. You don't hear of this a lot. And sometimes, let me be honest, sometimes it ends up being, but this came across as being the real deal here. Sometimes it ends up being friends later. But what we know at this point is it was robbery by knife point. As we go here to the 600 block of 21st Street, this would be just off of Highway 39. Dairy Queen sits here. This would be back here in an apartment complex. Several items were taken, Odie, and off they went. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
By knife. Ooh. TD says, you want your daughter to marry a poor guy? No, but I do want her to marry somebody that she can grow old with.
Yeah, that's not going to work out for them.
I don't want her to have to worry, but I do want her to enjoy it.
What was it Merle Haggard saying? It's not love, but it's close enough.
It's close enough.
It ain't
Yeah.
bad. But anyway, that happened yesterday there. We want to say a big thank you to the MEPA guys as they're still out. I'm sure Mississippi Power may have somebody, but as we do know that the MEPA crew, as we pull this up, are out. They're in Florida helping out all they can. Here's the guys doing what they do best. And it's a lot of hard work, and we can't say thank you enough for what they do, because if this was reversed, the guys from Florida would be here trying to get our power back on as well.
Exactly. Excuse me. That is something with the co-op that they're in, that they're able to go out of town and help. I know it splits the family up. Baby Duck's boyfriend, he works for a power crew, and he's having to go out of town sometimes. But, it's great knowing that our guys, since we're safe, are going and helping
Correct.
someone else.
Now, I hear a lot. There's two areas of in the county, and let's just be upfront and honest about where I hear about. I hear a lot about in the Zero community. In that area, a lot of things happen. And then on the east side of the county, we hear of a lot of things happening on the Jeff Davis School Road. All the time, there's something kind of going on brewing behind the scenes. As we go here, the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department and the East Mississippi Drug Task Force has made an arrest. As a matter of fact, Odie, they get ready to go in. They got a warrant to go get someone. Well, they go up in and they go, ooh, wait a minute, let's get another search warrant. They do that, and what do they come up with? Let's show the pictures of what we've got here. There we go. This was taken, again, this was from Jeff Davis School Road. Lawyers, guns, and money and drugs is what I see here. Now, that's several stacks of cash, as we can see.
Him looks like some of them there hundreds.
Is that marijuana?
That's
Is that what's
Mary J. Warner.
And is this the new thing of the gummy marijuana, maybe?
Yeah, I'd say that's THC gummies or something of the sort.
And pills?
Yeah, and it most likely would be
And what we got here?
Oxycontin or something like that. That's a set of scales, so they can
Oh,
weigh
okay.
their Mary J. Warner out.
All right.
And then your pea shooters.
About 5 guns there that were taken from the residents. And again, there's a lot that go. If you live in that area, I am not shocking anybody, and I know that.
Yeah. It's moving into all 4 corners.
Absolutely. But
it's
a little bit taken out yesterday, and we need more of that. And so we wanted to say thank you to the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department and everybody else that went out, took part of that. Nobody was injured, thank goodness.
And you see, that could have gone the opposite way, because why you want to have that kind of weapon if you're just going to show it off?
That's right.
So kudos to Sheriff's Department for going out there and taking care of that.
I was on the phone with Billy Solly yesterday, and he topped the hill, and he goes, "Hey, you know anything about all these lights over here?" I said, "Well, I'm sort of headed that way myself." We topped the hill, and what's going on here at the ice plant?
Yeah.
This could have been something bad, but let me tell you, the first responders that we've got in our area shot to the scene at the ice plant. We thought maybe somebody was displaced at first, but it wasn't. A problem was fixed before it happened.
And I tell you, the ice plant, Johnny on the spot.
That's right.
They knew what to do and how to do it. One of them was, yes, definitely call us. We're headed out that way. Engine 3 was right there in just a heartbeat. But the crew that works at the ice plant knows the dangers of the hazardous material they've got. They were able to isolate everything before it got real bad. Of course, everybody had to evacuate. They've got the equipment that they could go in and fix. They didn't just stop the situation
And wait for
hope
somebody.
for something else. They repaired it, fixed it. It was done.
So we give
Man,
kudos.
I tell you, Mr. Odom out there, known him, went to school with him. Good people, and they running a tight ship out there. They've got a great team, and
So a big thank you to everybody that went above and beyond on that, because if you were going by, you're going, what on earth is going on here?
because they was everybody over there.
It was a meeting of the minds. Saw the fire chief on down. Everybody was there. We'll be right back. We got more to talk about. We're going to Highland Park next. Were you there? Well, I was yesterday. I ain't gonna lie, I was scared. I was there. That's next as we start your day.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and access meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, day beds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the back porch.
Your local farmer knows a good deal when he sees one. The L-Series Kubota tractor is the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA and offered at Parish Kubota with 0% financing available. Come see why we're more than a tractor store at Parish Tractor.
And we're back. As we promised, we'd take you a trip out to Highland Park, and that's exactly where I went yesterday, to a one-vehicle rollover. We see so many accidents that happen where a car gets turned upside down, and miraculously, again, we see somebody, I think it was 3 people actually in the car that walked away from this without any injuries. Now, they may have had a bruise, and that airbag comes at you at 298 miles an hour, and it doesn't feel good. But it's better than the alternative. As we take a look here of what happened, Odie, look at that. Took the right front tire clean off of it.
I mean, just ripped the whole front.
Let's get a bird's eye view. Boy, what a shiny roof that car had. They've been reaching over scrubbing that.
Well, they wanted everybody to see it, and that was their opportunity.
But look at this. Now, as you stand back, I thought I had a picture that showed this. Let me take one more here.
I thought I saw Terry Lewis out there.
Oh, that's him. He's walking across the pasture about right there.
There he is. Look at it. He does show up.
He's on scene.
That's my brother out there.
But what we had here, and I don't have the picture of it, as you come from 8th Street to Highland Park, it's a sharp turn there by the old fence
the old
company.
pancake field right there, the fence company.
And apparently the car went straight, striking the curb and the stop sign, which made the car go like this.
Ooh.
And boy, that could have been bad. It could have been worse. But again, God's there for us. We've had 2 incidents. Well, actually 3 this week. We had the one last night with the goats, the guy on the motorcycle, and this walking away.
Yeah. Man, that was great.
It was. Now, one thing, and let me go here and see if I can find this. We had an incident yesterday that took place in Neshoba County. Highway 15 is where the wreck actually happened. And Odie, we had somebody ejected from a vehicle. And when you're thrown from a car, it's not good.
That's a lot of force.
And here we are. This was Highway 15, just past the intersection of 485, about 2 miles south there at County Road 2422. And as we look here, here's a bird's eye view. Let me make this a little bit bigger here where you can see it. Here's a car on a trailer, and they're calling that a head-on. We did have a youth, a minor, thrown from the car. I spoke with friends and family late last night. He was released from the hospital last night. Got to go home. Can you believe it? Praise God.
Good. Amen.
Bruised up a little bit. They're going to monitor him for a few days. But I'm going to tell you, to walk away from that being thrown out of a car.
You know, that, man, and some stuff that we've seen when it comes to being thrown out of a car usually isn't good.
And miracles do happen every day. I don't ever think that God isn't out there. I don't want you to think that ever and ever whatsoever.
Oh, yeah. He's there walking beside us every day. Whether we want him to or not, he's there in case we need him and we ask for him.
As a matter of fact, he sent some highway patrolmen out over the weekend and arrested 141 people that were drinking and driving. That is what our state numbers are, Odie, as we look at the Mississippi Highway Patrol over the Labor Day weekend. And, you know, it's never nice to get a ticket, but you also don't need to be drinking and driving. You don't know what you're doing. And people can get hurt. With this, almost 700 seatbelt tickets, 698 people will get to at least make is it a $50 donation now? It used to be $25.
It might be $50.
I think it's gone up some there.
Yeah.
We go to get this, over the weekend. It started like on Friday through Monday night.
At midnight or so.
147 wrecks statewide. 147 of them. That's a heap there. Fatalities, here's the bad part. We had 4 people die on Mississippi highways over the Labor Day weekend. We compare that to last year, we're up 1. We had 3 fatalities last year. We're up by 1 on this. Down on seatbelt, we had almost 1,100 seatbelt violations last year.
Down from look at the DUIs. We have learned a little something.
Yeah.
We went from 270 DUIs in 22 to 141 this year. So we've learned a little bit.
Yeah.
But man, that's still.
And they had
too much.
And they've run out. I guess things are done differently. Everything's like a computer printout now if you get a speeding ticket, isn't it? It's not the old book.
I'll be right back. They hit that print, and there it is.
9,186 tickets were issued in the state. And this is just highway patrol. This does not count cities and all of that.
Yep.
Just highway patrol compared to last year's over 10,000. So they were down a little bit. We showed a little bit. We did lose 1 more life this year than we did the previous year.
Brother Carl said, my niece was in the vehicle that was hit. She was in the SUV, got airbag injuries, and that's a lot of force.
Yeah.
That comes out. But God was there for sure, he said.
And that is wonderful.
Amen.
And not only did this
deal.
happen in our community, we all know that there's things that happen nationwide that are tough there. No matter where you are, we put up a good word there. But Mississippi Highway Patrol did, as Lisa says, did a great job this weekend. And those guys work hard at what they do.
They do. Man.
Bill Reinhardt. And I agree, Bill. John Anderson coming to Philadelphia this weekend to the Ellis Theater. I'm telling you, John Anderson, one of the nicest guys. I remember one of the very first time I met John, me and Debbie had gone to the CMAs, and I'd went and paid for the hotel rooms, and I'm going back to the truck, and I look up next to me, and is that John? He's standing. I said, John? He goes, huh? It's John Anderson standing in the parking lot. He was trying to get a room also. And, he is the guy that when he moved to Nashville, Johnny Cash gave him his break. He shows up to Nashville, can't get a job. He ends up working as a roofer on the Country Music Hall of Fame. Wow. He's building that, putting it on. A few years later, he would be inside of that. Always a neat story. Would you catch a falling star? One of the, and of course, the song that brought him to America would be Just a Swingin'. Little Susie. Yep. But the best song that I can think of that just really paints a picture of, man, makes you want to break out the Kleenex and bring a tear to glass eyes. I just came home to count the memories of a better day and time. Oh,
man.
It's good.
That's country.
Oh, it's country. And the storyline is the guy comes home, his wife has left him. And he's standing there, and the mailbox is growing up. There's grass everywhere, and a little kid comes down from the street, comes down and wants to know if his kids could come and play. And he ain't got the heart to tell the kid that his kids ain't there no more. And he goes, "Nah, I guess not today."
Oh, man.
Okay, enough depressing stuff.
Ooh, that will. Well, talking about Ellis Theater.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot.
Old Marty.
In Philadelphia. Man, I just hope we can boost that up down here and get that going. Now, look here, Lisa said. Now, she's got a good one. You talked about how John couldn't get him a job, couldn't get started, so he started doing some roofing work. Lisa said, so he started at the top. Is that what you say?
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Scotty Ray and Odie, again, John Anderson, one of the best there is. Go see him this weekend. Chicken truck, behind it, I'm stuck. It just goes on and on with the Wild and Blue. She just started liking cheating songs. I don't know if it's the melody or the cheating she likes. Woo!
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, your local pharmacy and gift shop, thanks you for your continued support. Whether you shop with us in-store, through our app, over the phone, or in our drive-thru, our team will provide the best personalized customer service experience you expect from your local pharmacy. When you call or message us, you are promptly greeted by the Mr. Discount team that's ready to help. When you choose our pharmacy, you're choosing a locally owned pharmacy that cares about you and your community. Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs makes a difference.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
In 1814, we took a little trip. When did I love that. As we look back in history, let's go back to 1813. You've heard that term all your life, haven't you, Odie?
And you know the picture, you know the term, you know everything because Uncle Sam wants you.
Yeah, he wants you. As we go back for the definition of this, and here it is. 1813, he got nicknamed this because on the barrels of powder, it was written U.S., and soldiers would start calling it Uncle Sam. And it stuck.
Yeah, and I was sitting here reading this during the break, and I'm just sitting here going, that's pretty doggone neat.
It is.
Man, because we can see the commercial, but we can't hear the commercial, so, and then a lot of times, like Lisa said, starting at the top, we take that time to laugh at a lot of things.
So what was your favorite Buddy Holly song of all time? That'll Be the Day? Peggy Sue.
No, what was it?
He's gone blank.
I have gone blank. He's got a few.
He's got a bunch there. Buddy Holly, born on this date, and you may have a favorite of yours, but Buddy Holly, one of the best there ever was. Lubbock, Texas is where he came from. Buddy Holly. I know there's a lot of you like that. 1949, it went number one today. I have to bring it up because it's my hero. Hank Williams went number one with I Got a Feeling called the Lovesick Blues.
He could sing it.
He could. Oh, Hank, number one. As we go back, and I watched, really that first one is the greatest, Major League.
Yeah.
Do you remember the cardboard poster of the woman in the locker room?
They started taking the parts. Yeah. Yeah, because she was wanting them to lose.
Corbin Benson, and I didn't know his name, but he was the guy there that Charlie and him had a disagreement about during the movie. You remember that?
Yeah. Well, his wife came on to Charlie.
Right. And Charlie didn't know who she was.
Not until the next day when she said, I got to go home. And there it went. But that was a funny movie.
Wild thing.
Good. Wild thing. Blind, couldn't see till they got them glasses.
Yeah. Her dress never flew up. I never quite understood it. She was flying around. But today, the Flying Nun premiered, and that would be Sally Field, better known as Frog. I don't remember where a character's name was in Steel Magnolias, but I can't watch that. I'm sorry.
Yep. Come on, Frog.
1967. Do y'all remember the TV show? It premiered today, Mannix. Do y'all remember that way back in the day? It was a detective show.
Yeah. I still watch it. Talking about Frog, we have that famous picture of Burt Reynolds. We might have to show it.
Oh, yeah, I got it somewhere. I'll see if I can get it up. If not, we'll show it in the morning.
Yeah, we've got a good picture of him.
Yeah. What is this, Junior Brown? Now, there's two Junior Browns, and I'm assuming you're talking about you're wanted by the police and my wife thinks you're dead. Or how about that big hit, Broke Down South of Dallas? It's funny. I like Junior Brown, if that's the one. There was another Junior Brown that was Beyond Country years ago.
Hope he's saying you got to bring one of your classic cars.
Have to put some gas in something. Anybody remember this from the mid-'70s? Shazam!
Boy, he could spin that dirt real quick and make glass.
Yep. 1974, they drove around in a motorhome is basically all I remembered. And how he turned from young to old, I don't quite get. I'd have to go back and watch the show again. You remember that?
Yeah, I don't remember that part either.
He'd do that and jump in that little outfit, and he looked different. Kind of like, what's his name? The Incredible Hulk took a whole new look.
Yeah, he did. I have to go back and watch something like that. Like the Greatest American Hero.
Yeah. I'm flying on there.
Yeah, that's it.
Men in tights is what we call this, and you'll never catch me in any, so I can't be a superhero. Ballet is not for me.
Not anymore. I told y'all when I was in high school I was scrawny, and then I got in the military and I came out and I got in shape. Now I'm just a shape.
Just to shape.
So I don't fit in tights.
Carlene joining us this morning in Montana, where she says it's 47 degrees. Carlene Lane, how are you this morning? Hope it's all good.
Yeah, turn a fan towards the south and let us get some of that.
Can you do the voice of this next thing, Odie?
I'm trying to remember how it goes.
I can hear it in my head, but I cannot do it.
If I can hear it, I can probably push some of it out.
Anybody remember watching Hong Kong Phooey?
Oh, yeah.
It premiered on this date back in 1974.
Man, that was cartoons.
That was back in the day of David Carradine. This would be about the time that Long Wolf McQuaid would come out.
Yeah.
And you would learn who Chuck Norris was. Can't bury a Dodge truck and think it's going to stay down there. No, sirree. It can climb out of a hole 10 feet deep. That turbine kicked in.
Turbine.
Here you come.
Man. We were the best generation, hands down. The music.
Music was a lot better.
Cartoons.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Man.
We had
had
it.
it all.
Don't it make my brown eyes blue? I'm sure that at some point in your life you've heard this term or heard the song. It went number one on this day. Is Crystal Gayle would have the number one hit in America. And she was beautiful. And, of course, if you don't know, that's Loretta's sister.
Yep.
Some long hair there. It'd take 25 men to tote that around and wash it now.
That's all right, 'cause there wasn't nobody saying no.
Seriously, wouldn't you have to have a headache after that, all that weight pulling on your head?
You'd have to. You know, I had a ponytail.
You didn't have to tell me that, Odie. Men with ponytail. Come on now. You
It
had
was
a
a
ponytail?
long time ago. I had long hair. It was way back down here.
Don't ever show me a picture of that. Because
I don't think I got in there.
it would be forever burned in my head of Odie running around with a ponytail.
I had a long goatee. Charlene's probably got a picture of it.
Oh, Charlene, keep it to yourself, please.
Yeah.
John, you're right. Crystal Gayle was a beautiful woman. She absolutely, she was blessed with the looks.
And, I mean, her eyes, wow.
Mm-hmm. Have you left the one you left me for? That was one of her big hits there.
Yeah, yeah.
As we go back, I'm not even going to say that. Let's just say that Johnny Cash is. I stopped myself. Sometimes it's better not to open your mouth if you can't say something nice. So we're going to do that. Let's just say that Johnny Cash's daughter had a number one song today called I Don't Know Why You Don't Want Me. I have the answer, but I'm not going to say why.
That's it, Charlene. You need to keep stuff to yourself. Said I was so ugly. It looked like David Allen. She said Coke, but it's got to be cold.
Whew, was all I could do. Keep from crying. Let's go back to 1985, and back then he was still known as the man, Mr. Jello. Kid-friendly guy, not anymore, but back then he was. He was on the cover of TV Guide. Of course, you would know him from The Cosby Show.
Dr. Huxtable.
It sure was. 1996, at the time, I didn't realize this guy was really, he's turned out to be the icon, or do they call it OG? What's that stand for?
OG, Original Gangster.
Original the guy that's kind of started it all. He was shot today. Tupac Shakur, did I pronounce that right?
Yep.
Tupac.
And some say he ain't dead.
Who's his wife that's remarried? She
don't
married somebody. I can't remember who it was. But
I didn't keep up with him. I listened to some Run DMC.
Walk This
little
Way.
Snoop Dogg. But I didn't listen
go
too much
Tupac. I wouldn't know any of his songs, but I do know that he was a legend within what he done. And when his life was taken, that made him all the more of a, is it martyr? Is that the word I'm looking for?
I guess you could, I mean, that would fit that. Right outside, playing in the open.
And it's just turned out to where now it's a big common thing within the rap world where drive-bys happen a lot. We see it mentioned tons and tons of times.
It's something, you know, and it changes a whole music because now that entices other people to step up and get into music, whether it's, a genre that I don't really pay attention to or not, but there's been songs about him.
Yeah. I don't know any.
But
I'm sure there are.
I've heard them talk about it. But, yeah.
More on the way. Scotty Ray and Odie as we brighten your day one way or another. We either scare you or make you smile.
One of the two.
We'll be right back. Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk.
Your next Maytag or Whirlpool appliance is waiting on you at All Temp Appliance and Refrigerator. If you've been trying to locate a freezer, stop by and see their big selection of upright and chest freezers, a showroom full of stoves, gas, and electric. Maybe it's a new refrigerator from large double doors to the simplest of refrigerators. Name brand washers and dryers like Speed Queen and Amana. And delivery is available with a great service department to back up what they sell. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, and by appointment after hours and weekends.
Welcome back. One thing that is happening for sure is it's busy right now at the Lauderdale County Farm Supplies. You pull this up as you look at their Facebook page. Lots going on there. Sales. If you need a ball cap, they've got all this good stuff and closeout specials on this, that, and the other. Even some clearance there on some ladies and Carhartt shirts. Drop in and visit with them. Some candles. But the big thing that's going on at the Farm Supply is planting season. There's a lot of folks. Those tractors are rolling now as we're into September.
We're getting ready to plant green fields, get ready to feed the deer. So go out there, and they've got everything you need. Whatever mix you want to plant in your green field. If it's just ryegrass or a winter mix or any kind of blend, they've got that there. And along with your salt licks and your horn conditioning minerals, they've got all that there at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Go in, shop with them, get anything you need for any of your outdoor projects.
Even a new feeder there.
New feeder. Well, Bob says, can we buy some rain? No, but they've got water.
They do have that. Exit 151 right off the interstate. Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Visit with them. They opened up the door at 7:30 this morning. They're there now taking care of business. So I hope you'll drop in and visit with them there.
I got a special good morning going.
Who you got?
And Baby Duck and some of her workmates and everything and the ducklings are in Florida this morning. They're watching the show, and it won't be long. They're going to be getting on board Carnival ship, and they're going to hit the seas. Going to have a little fun time, and I know she's going to enjoy it. Know the kids are going to enjoy it. Y'all have a blast. Have fun. Be careful while you're out there. Be careful coming back home. I love you. Next time, we'll have to all go together. Don't be leaving Papa Duck all the way up here and y'all going on a boat.
This next story, Odie, reminds me of when a TV station might have got together and they hold around and come up with a reason to get rid of me and you off TV. It's the White House tries to explain Biden walking out on the veteran getting the Medal of Honor. He just walks away. And they said, whoa, wait a minute, he was afraid he would give somebody COVID. Now, this is after he'd gone in and supposedly, he has the mask mandate. He takes his mask off, which he would have given it to the man to begin with. If this was the case, he wouldn't have been there. He's just lost.
When you go to try and cover crap up,
that's what this is.
This is what you come up with, stupid stuff.
Oh, my heavens.
That right there makes absolutely no sense. Just tell it like it is.
Tell the truth.
And let it, even if it does, the truth will set you free whether it gets you kicked off of TV or not.
I've heard that. I've absolutely heard that before.
Even if your ratings are better, we won't go there.
Well, we have a body identified. It was found at the Mississippi River there. And this would be right near Memphis and Tunica, still in Mississippi, but he is a Memphis man that was found there in the river. They have identified him as Mario Stewart. They found him there Wednesday afternoon. Closure for some family, and we're glad of that. We hate that someone passed away on that, but definitely that closure has been given.
Yeah.
Shad White says he's busy, y'all. Unprecedented abuse of unemployment during COVID. And what they were talking about, all of this, there was false forms filled out, especially for the PPE money, and that's what it was.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what got. What's the fella and his wife that sold real estate or something? Now they're both in jail. Chrisley knows best. Or something. Yeah, he took some of that money.
He did, didn't he? I'd forgotten about that. Done a lot there, fraud, and they caught him, and they want him out of jail now. They're saying
That's
we
right.
got too tough a sentence. No, I don't think he did.
I don't either. I mean, go back and read how he got going anyway, and it was a fraudulent start that he borrowed $3 million from a bank and then filed bankruptcy and then started this TV show. And now you've done this.
Shad says $590 million ran through there that could possibly have some fraud in there. And they're on this. They will. Shad doesn't let go once he digs into something.
And we need to, because when you do need some money for people that are going through something like that pandemic, we need the money to be there. But then you got those that step up going, I'm fixing to get as much as I can.
And they did.
And they did. And, I hope it comes back. Of course, going to jail, who's going to pay for that?
We are. It ain't cheap sitting up in there.
No, I think you have a bill by the time you come out.
Cassie writes this words that you don't want to hear. Shad White is here to see you.
Yeah.
You get the cookie for the day. That was pretty good.
That was good.
Yeah. Let's see.
I'd rather there's a fella out here with a badge that wants to see you way before I want to hear Shad White. Like to speak
Bob McNeese said he made a stop yesterday at East Fork Cemetery. Visited an old friend called, Jerry Clower.
Over in Ament, Mississippi.
There you go. We had someone that lost their life in Jackson, Mississippi. We've had it happen here in Meridian. If you ever are in a situation where you have to walk down a road, never cross these big interstates. Jackson, Mississippi, there's too many cars. I remember a few years ago, a woman dropped her phone. They stopped the car for her to go out after dark to get it out and to retrieve it. Yeah. She didn't make it. Another life has been lost on I-55 in Jackson, Mississippi. People speed on that road. You can't see. Be careful. Your phone or anything like that is not worth your life. And that's not what happened in this case, but it just isn't worth it.
Well, it's not just the person that's going across there. You've got a truck driver that's making a living, supporting his family, staying on the road away from his family so he can make some money. And he's driving down the road, not breaking any laws, and then someone jumps in front of him trying to cross in front of him on foot. Not only does this person lose their life and their family have to suffer, but so does that truck driver.
That's correct. Bruce, Mississippi, joining us. Miss Janet Riddle, also Colorado. Colorado there.
Colorado. Good morning, Miss Janet. Man, we've got them all over. We appreciate y'all coming and spending your mornings with us.
We've got our 9th case of West Nile virus confirmed in the state of Mississippi, Odie. You hadn't heard a lot about the old West Nile in a few years, but 9 cases of it.
Well, and now this time of year, with the drought that we've had, we've got a lot of water that's just sitting still and stagnant, and it's not moving in some of these creeks, and that's where these mosquito eggs begin to flourish.
It is.
And when they hatch, now we've got a lot more mosquitoes. So definitely be careful with water that you've got in your close vicinity that's just stagnant.
Now, I don't want anybody to mistake me for what I'm fixing to say here. When it's your time to go. But, boy, talk about being in the area. A person was standing near a funeral home in Oxford, Mississippi. The retaining wall fell. They were killed, Odie. You don't. And a retaining wall would be something that holds dirt into a yard. You're walking down and flop. That's scary there.
That is. That's kind of like that fella that talked to his buddy, and he goes, "Hey, man, I've got an airplane. You want to come fly with me?" He said, "Nope." He said, "Why?" "I just don't do airplanes." He said, "Aren't you a God-fearing man?" He said, "I sure am." He said, "Don't you go to church every Sunday?" "I sure do." "Don't you read the Bible?" He said, "I sure do every day." He said, "Don't you believe that when it's your time, it's your time?" He said, 100%. And he said, well, then why won't you get in an airplane with me? He said, because it might be your time, and I don't know how to fly.
Vote no on October the 3rd. The Lauderdale County School Board wants to raise your taxes. The board is asking for an additional $12.5 million for the Career and Technical Education Project, bringing the total cost to $20.5 million. Which means higher taxes for you to pay. The election alone will cost taxpayers $40,000 to $50,000. Send the school board a message. Vote no on raising your taxes by voting no for the $12.5 million for the Career and Technical Project, paid for by taxpayers for reduced Lauderdale County school spending. Rock House Gun and Pawn is open. You pump shotgun or an AR. The Rock House will have the gun that you need, with a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian. Interstate Auto, conveniently located on North Frontage Road in Meridian, right down from IHOP, has a large selection of late model cars and trucks just waiting on you. You may be in the market for an SUV or a family sedan to fit all the kids in. And a huge selection of trucks, whether it's a Ford, a GMC, a Chevrolet, a Dodge Ram that you're looking for, or economical Toyota truck. Inventory changes daily at Interstate Auto. From a minivan to a sporty four-door sedan, Interstate Auto has what you need. North Frontage Road, Meridian. As you saw the ad just a moment ago for the school bond issue that is going to be coming up for Lauderdale County, well, that is a hot topic right now in the county. Some love it. Some go, wait a minute, somebody needs some explaining going on here. And we've had the superintendent of education in with us. And we're going to talk more about this. We're going to bring in some more people.
Yeah.
We never want you to vote for anything blindly. We're going to give you the absolute truthfulness that we do know there, of what it'll do to your taxes. Are we getting the most bang for our buck and giving our children what they need of what we can afford?
I think, and I know your phone is blown up because mine has just blown just crazy with people calling and saying, man, look, what is this? And are y'all going to continue to talk? People really want to be educated. And just about everybody that I've talked to is not just, well, I'm just against it. They are for trying to get some better education for our kids.
Correct.
They are against, I guess they feel like they've been blindsided because a vote's being rushed. They want a little bit more information of how did we spend $8 million on a building that barely costed us anything? How was that $8 million spent? And then out of this $12.5 million, how is it going to be spent? I want to know. I want to know where it's going. And they published the actual bond, and it's basically,
it says
anything you want. We're going to spend this on anything, including the CTE program. So it's like, hey, we're going to use this on other schools, not just building this here out.
And I am getting, and I don't know enough about this before I open my mouth, but I have gotten enough text and inbox to go, what's worth mentioning, even though I don't know the real answer to this. Clarkdale, hit by a tornado. I have parent after parent sending me message going, where'd the money go for this? It's not fixed yet. We're going to build something else, and we still haven't fixed this.
Yeah.
Just stating the obvious from parents that have kids that go to school there. Again, this is going to be held in October instead of waiting 35 days till another election where it wouldn't cost the taxpayer any extra money. And I asked, why are we doing this? Well, the lawyer told us to do that. Well, the lawyers want this to pass, and they're putting it to where it's, I don't want to say blatantly that it is to deter people, but we all know that when something is out of the norm, and we even had less on a huge election runoff, that fewer people are going to go vote for this.
And that's at a polling precinct.
Yes.
At a voting precinct.
Now, this will not be held there. And this is where I don't quite understand this. You're going to hold this at a school when during regular business hours at all other times you have to go to an office to check in. You don't want people on your campus. This opens up your campus to
lots of people on the campus. Just not saying anything's going to happen. I'm just saying that you have foot traffic when it did not have to be there.
I think if you have an election, it needs to be held at your voting precincts.
Now, I've heard all types of figures, anywhere starting at $20,000 to $60,000 of what the election will cost.
Yeah.
Extra out of the taxpayers' money.
Terry asked, where do we vote? I live in Sukalina, and the school district is West Lauderdale, so I'm voting at West Lauderdale Elementary. So it's basically, from what we've gathered, whatever school district you live in, it's going to be at that school that you've got to go vote.
And it is a list out, and I'll get that posted this week to where we all know that. And we're going to do an extra show on this to where we sit down and really go in depth on this. And the educated voter is the best.
Donnie had a good one. Who votes on this? Any county resident.
Correct.
Unless you live in the separate school district portion of the county.
You confuse me, Odie.
All right, so there's people who live inside the county, outside of the city. But they live in an area that's called a separate school district, where just because they live outside the city limits, they're in the city school district.
But their taxes will also go up.
True.
Because that's county, and that affects your county tax that you pay on your own. But they can't vote.
They can't vote.
That's not.
See what I'm talking about?
But if I lived in the city and you're going to raise my taxes and I can't vote on it, I would be extremely upset. I did not realize that part.
Yeah.
I thought that was it. If it deals with the county, you should be able to vote.
It should, and there's just so many questions that people are. I know they're getting you because they're getting me, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But we talk. We're gonna have to do something.
We know some experts,
and we're going to do a show in the evening time, so everybody can not have to worry about work.
Yeah.
They can sit back, watch us. We'll bring professionals in. The school. We want the school involved.
Yeah,
in
we'd
this.
love to have them as well. We're going to offer for them to come in as well.
We don't want to do one-sided on anything. So definitely let's have everybody come together. Let's have a great informational monologue and find the right thing to do.
We'll be right back. Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk.
Your next Maytag or Whirlpool appliance is waiting on you at All Temp Appliance and Refrigerator. If you've been trying to locate a freezer, stop by and see their big selection of upright and chest freezers, a showroom full of stoves, gas, and electric. Maybe it's a new refrigerator from large double doors to the simplest of refrigerators. Name brand washers and dryers like Speed Queen and Amana. And delivery is available with a great service department to back up what they sell. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, and by appointment after hours and weekends.
Folks, before we get into this, you just really can't make this up.
No,
we've all heard.
He must have watched our show.
Had to. There's a guy that dresses as a woman that's a school teacher that has caused problems. I mean, major problems in schools. One school system got rid of him. He went to a new school system, and they were going to let him dress as a woman. But at the last moment, he is now. Let me show you how he identified a few weeks ago.
That's not a normal woman.
No, this is from Daily Mail, and this is what that is. Those are strap-on, like a bulletproof vest type thing.
Yeah.
But he has since discovered that he wanted to identify as a man this week. So he has shown up to report to duty at school as a dude. It's not a good dude, but it is a dude.
That's like a dude.
How in America, and let's back up and look at this, how in America can we let someone go into our school systems to teach our children like this? Something is wrong that this would even be allowed to begin with. You're not born that way. This is something that you have strapped on your body and going to be in front of our children. What are you teaching in the classroom? There's got to be distractions. There'd be no way to really teach. They're there to learn and to have a future, and you are messing it with your agenda. I have a problem with it.
Casey said, who hires that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Somebody needs to vote the superintendent out that did that. It's got to be a superintendent or a principal that hired.
Yeah, and that right there is what's wrong with America today. You send your kids off to school for 8 hours a day, and they have no right to discipline your child. I have a problem with that. If your kids are anywhere for 8 hours, they should be able to have some type of discipline that is given to them.
Yeah.
Inside and outside the home. They help raise your child. But it goes back to we're not teaching subjects anymore. We teach a test. Teach a subject, test the subject, and if you fail the test, study the subject. But we're dumbing down America so we can get more people to feel good about themselves because they passed a test. No. Study the subject that you were taught, and then you take a test.
You know, here's a prime example of being a great Mississippian, and let me share this of what happened. Somebody from Mississippi goes to Dallas, Texas for the weekend. They noticed something wrong, and they fixed it immediately. A young lady was going along, and a car caught on fire, and it was somebody that was trapped in the car, Odie, that was wheelchair bound and couldn't get out. She jumped to action. She's being hailed as a hero out of Mississippi, visiting Dallas. There she is. That's 42-year-old Tammy Arrington. Man. Tammy, you go there.
You dang right. That is a kudos.
And here's the gentleman that she pulled from the car that was trapped. That is a big deal.
And got him out of there.
Yeah.
And put her life at risk to do it. That is what you call American. It's what you call being there for our brothers and sisters.
It is.
Man.
It's going to conclude what we've got to say today. We're coming back tomorrow to scare more folks, though.
Hey, we're just going to tell you the truth. But
That's
we
right.
want you to be with us because we enjoy you being here with us. We'll be back 23 hours from now. Don't forget, we love you. Hope you have a wonderful day.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.